It's not just the case that the only socialists to be found active in Brighton this afternoon are out here. Well, maybe it is. But some of them who are out here now have been inside that conference today. And we have a couple of them here to speak to us today. One of them, since 1983, a member of Parliament from Islington North, and who's been a constant fighter against war, a constant fighter against government cuts, both under this government and previous ones, Jeremy Corbin.
Thanks very much, and thank you all for being here, and well done for being here. This alliance of all of us on the front here at Brighton this afternoon represents the peace movement, represents the environmental movement, represents the trade union movement, represents the student movement, represents all that's good and hopeful in our society. That is the alliance we want. People demanding public expenditure on jobs, on services, on benefits, on health, on education, all those things. That is what we're about. 8 years ago, twice the length of the Second World War, we were told that the only solution to the events of 9/11 was to bomb and invade Afghanistan. 8 years later, billions of pounds later, tens of thousands of Afghan deaths later, hundreds of British and American soldiers later, the world is infinitely more dangerous. The people of Afghanistan are worse off. The war is spreading over the border into Pakistan. And this war, unless stopped, has all the parallels of the Vietnam War of the 1960s. And whatever good and great things Barack Obama wants to do in his presidency for the people of the United States, and we wish him well in bringing in some kind of health service to the United States, unless he stops the war in Afghanistan, he will pay exactly the same price as Lyndon Johnson paid in the 1960s, when the massive opposition to the Vietnam War forced him out of the presidency and ultimately forced the US out of Vietnam. So those people that say British troops need more equipment, need better support, need more money in order to stay there and finish the job, I say to the Secretary of State for Defence, what is the job? What are the war aims? Why are you there? You're there because Bush and Blair deceived us into going there. You're there for the natural resources. You're there for the oil. You're there to rob the people of Afghanistan. Our message has to be, we want jobs, we want peace, therefore bring the troops out of Afghanistan. And on the back of that, there is a peace dividend. There's a dividend in ending, I hope, the draconian anti-terror laws in our society, ending the attack on Muslim countries and the Islamophobia that accompanies it. There is a dividend also in pulling out of Iraq, and there's a very, very big dividend in not renewing the Trident nuclear missile system, saving £76 billion, £3 billion a year for all of its life. There is an enormous opportunity that peace brings. And I am fed up with being told that the only solution to the current crisis is to cut public expenditure and allow bankers' bonuses to rise and allow inequality to increase. There is a great opportunity during this recession that we're now in of recognising the causes of that recession were free market economics. The cause of that recession were the bankers' bonuses and all the other bonuses. The way out of the recession is to increase socially useful public expenditure, is to increase taxation for those at the top end, is to increase expenditure and opportunities for the poor. Because if Labour, the Labour movement and the widest possible coalition of progressive forces don't achieve that, then the BNP are waiting round the corner to divide, to destroy, to promote violence on our streets. The choice, peace, jobs and freedom, or war, anti-libertarian legislation, racism and repression. We know what side we're on. Work now for peace. Work now to stop the war in Afghanistan. Work now to defend jobs, education and services. Thank you very much.